Hi everybody. I thought I'd play God Bless America today, and also like to thank Rogers County Literacy Council, the Department of Oklahoma Libraries, and the Institute of Museums and Library Services. They're the ones that give us the grant money to do our programs. Thank you very much. Today we're going to start out on the questions that have to do with some of these things. Last time we talked about Congress and the senators and the House of Representatives. You might remember I had my 100 upside down last time. So let's start with the part of the government that makes the laws. Question number 18 asks, how many senators are there? Well, there are 2 per state. So if there are 2 per state, and we know that our country has 50 states, that means there are 100 senators. Now you'll see I've drawn the Capitol. This is their office building, and I put the 100 in the side that's littler, because remember the other side is the House of Representatives and has a whole lot more people. Also, you'll notice that I've written on here that senators have 6-year terms. So this covers a couple of questions. How many senators are there? 100. And how long do they serve? 6 years. So the senators, 2 per state, doesn't matter which state it is, whether it's California, Oklahoma, New York, Rhode Island, each state has 2 senators. Then the next question will ask us, who are our senators here in Oklahoma? So we have 2 U.S. senators. Both of their names are James. One of them goes by Jim Inhofe, and the other one is James Lankford. Jim Inhofe is up for election in November. That means he will have served 6 years. Actually, he's been in the Senate a long time, so he's won his elections many times. So he's up for election in 2020. James Lankford will be up for election in 2022. So you'll see they have 6-year terms, but it's not all the same 6 years. This is a good idea because then we have some senators that have some experience being in the Senate, and then others that are new. So that way everybody can help each other and talk about the issues. Now we're going to talk about the other part of Congress. Here we have the Congress building, the Capitol, and we see that over here in this bigger part we have 435 representatives. They have 2-year terms. 2-year terms. Why are there so many more in the House of Representatives? The number of representatives is based on the population of each state. So the number of representatives is determined by how many people live in the state. This explains why some states have many representatives and other states have a lot fewer representatives. Here's an example. California has 53 representatives. Oklahoma has only 5. Montana has only 1 representative, but they still have 2 senators. California, with its 53 representatives, still has 2 senators. So the House of Representatives has 435 members, and the number of members is determined by the population in each state. Okay, we're going to focus on Oklahoma having 5 representatives to the U.S. House of Representatives. So Oklahoma has 5, and you might wonder how those are divided. Here is my drawing of the state of Oklahoma, and you'll see that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 districts in Oklahoma. The one I've colored in green is where we live. If you see this little blue star up here, that's Rogers County. So we live in district number 2, and our representative is Mark Wayne Mullen, and that's one of the questions too. So this shows you that when we send our 5 representatives to Congress, the one that we would call if we have a question or we'd like to have something done would be Mark Wayne Mullen. And he has a 2-year term. 2-year term. So Oklahoma has 4 other representatives besides Mark Wayne Mullen. Another question is, who does a state senator represent? We said we have 2 senators. The senators represent everybody in Oklahoma. They represent everybody in Oklahoma. The representatives represent the people of their district. So that drawing I had a moment ago where it was green, Mark Wayne Mullen would represent us here. The whole state would be represented by Jim Inhofe and Jim Lankford. So senators represent the whole state. So the question is, who do the senators represent? They represent all the people of the state. The next one is a question about the president. We elect the president in 4-year terms. 4-year terms. But the president can run twice. So 4 plus 4, a president might serve for 8 years. A president might serve for 8 years. President Trump is up for election in November of 2020. We always have our presidential elections in November, which means if they can serve 4 years, there's a presidential election every 4 years. So right now the president is Donald Trump. He was first elected in 2016, so now he is up for election in 2020. The vice president is Michael Pence. The next question asks, who would serve if the president can't serve? And if the president can't serve, if he got sick or something happened to him or he died, then the vice president would become the president. If the president and the vice president couldn't serve, then the Speaker of the House would become president. And right now the Speaker of the House is Nancy Pelosi. One thing you should remember is that if you haven't already gotten your time to go take your test for your citizenship, is in November, whenever these people are up for election. We may have different names to remember. I think you remember the last time we were going through this process, we had an election and we had to see on certain things who won. So in November we will find out if Donald Trump continues to be president and Michael Pence continues to be vice president, or if somebody else is elected. I think that's it for today. It was a fast one. It was a day of a lot of numbers. 4-year terms, 6-year terms for senators, 2-year terms for representatives, 100 senators, 435 representatives. So we had lots of numbers to learn this time. I will see you soon, and we'll go through the next 10 or 12 questions. Thank you. Thank you so much. See you soon.